What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to today's ACSA episode. As we are just about at the halfway point of non-conference play, we'll now begin week 3 slate of games, starting with the Wentzville Vikings, representing the Big Southwest Conference, going on the road to play against the Louisiana Central Black Bears from the Stars and Stripes Conference. So we got a good trio of games for you guys here today. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button, and also watch out for that big throw. Could have been for a huge game, but of course it was dropped. So an incomplete pass there. 2nd and 10 now coming up. Very big connect on the big play. DeFreeney, huge first down as they are in Wentzville territory for the first time today on this inaugural drive of the game, and looking pretty good too, getting some more, first downs together, looking good as an offense as they switch it up a little bit with a run to Braden that goes for a nice gain, 6 yards on the play. As now, 3rd and short coming up, Jasper dropping back the pass, and he takes a shot, sacked on the play, and they will have to settle for a field goal. So Louisiana Central does take an early lead, but are still only up 3-0, but that could change quickly as that pass is intercepted. Huge play for the LCU defense, and they'll move this thing forward. Now, 3rd and 5 coming up. They got the first down. You love to see that. 1st and 10 coming up. Now it's a 3rd and goal. Can they convert? Get into the end zone as it's a quick throw over the middle and finds DeCalius in the end zone. Touchdown Bears, and the upset alert potentially could be on as LCU takes an early 10-0 lead. Let's see how the Vikings will respond though, as they will start with the football here. Got a first down here midway through this first quarter. As now 1st and 10 going to the right hand side, tries to connect on the crossing route on that mesh concept, but does not work. Incomplete there. And they took a 5-yard loss on a sack as well. So they got a 2nd and long coming up, but doesn't matter. Pick up the first down anyways. And they happen to be in LCU territory for the very first time today. And especially when he has a lot of time, he's going to let that thing rip. Finds Jargon. End zone. Touchdown Vikings. As it cuts this lead down to 10-7. And this could be another big throw. Not to Jarnigan, but to Mike Smith, who makes a nice catch. First down for the Vikings as they're on the edge of field goal range, but that might get them out of there though, as that's a loss in the backfield. Loss of 4. Got to pick up that yardage back and then some to get back in the field goal range, and they will do just that and pick up the first down as well. Hampson gets some in the red zone for the first time in today's game for the Vikings. Let's see if they can capitalize as they throw deep for the end zone, and it's dropped. He had a man in the end zone, but unfortunately was not caught for him. And so instead, they don't convert the 3rd down. So they have to settle for a tie. It's only 10-10 so far. Game could definitely go either way as the punt is up. And look at this. They're going to rule that an actual safety. For some reason feeling at the 1 and then subsequently going backwards. So LCU pays dearly for that. They lose the lead. Wentzville gets their first lead of today's game thanks to that safety. And now they also have the football as well. So definitely something to watch out for, as they have an opportunity to not only extend this lead but make this a 2-possession ball game if they can get into the end zone. Although Smith's going to go ahead and throw it to the left-hand side. It's got Pecula, who has plenty of room out in open space before running out of bounds. Getting inside the 30-yard line. As now 1st and 10 going to the left-hand side again on a crossing route. Doesn't work. And also a short running game doesn't really work as well, but they decide to go with the running game as well. Looks like they're settling for a field goal. So, it is what it is. But now Wentzville has a 15-10 lead, so let's see how the Bears respond. They were off to a really great start, but they haven't really done much ever since then. Let's see if this offense can get back on track, however. So 2nd and 4 now going to be coming up Brandon gonna go ahead and scramble upfield off the carry. Gonna be able to pick up the first down. Huge play right there. And now 2nd and 10. Jasper again looking to throw. He's got a man down the sidelines. Got the Culius. He's got him down the sideline before going out of bounds as LCU looks to strike back again. Let's see if they can do it here, but no, they can't. The pass is intercepted by Gardner. Huge play by the Wentzville defense, and the score will remain. The lead will be preserved for right now, as they have an opportunity to do something here. The last couple of minutes, we'll see how the Vikings respond to this drive, as they were deep in their own territory. Wouldn't be surprised if they just ran out the clock and go into the locker room going into halftime, as LCU actually starts calling their timeouts. They want to see if maybe they can try and go ahead and get the ball back, with some time left, try to get momentum back on their side, but that could backfire on them. However, as LCU did take another timeout, that's their last timeout of this first half, so it actually favors Wentzville. They don't have to utilize their timeouts yet, but they still seem content to go into the locker room with this 15-10 lead that they currently have. If it's another first down for the Vikings, that's exactly what they do. They go into the locker room with a 15-10 lead. Second half is coming up. So here we are in the second half, as Wentzville still holds a 15-10 lead, as they'll go back to their running game once again. Decent gain on that one, a gain of 7. As now it's a 3rd and short. Wouldn't be surprised if they ran it, but no, they're opting to pass. Smith gonna go try to go deep for this one and finds Leroy down the sideline and is caught from behind finally, just on the edge of the red zone. Can't be giving up those kind of plays on a 3rd down. And instead the Vikings drive will continue, but does end in incompletion. 2nd and 10 now coming. They're going to try to throw it again though. Smith going over the middle. That's nearly intercepted again. Oh, LCU needed that interception, but instead it's 3rd and 10. They do get the stop with ease. Not fooled by the the running game. But Wentzville was able to add a field goal, and now there's 18-10. The Bears need not only a touchdown, but will need to go for 2 in order to tie this ball game up. So now 2nd and 9. Jasper going to try to keep it on the QB sneak, and it picks up good results. A 7-yard gain that makes it 3rd and very manageable, as they'll go to the running game again. Brandon nearly gets stopped in the backfield, but able to make some good plays to turn something positive. Is able to turn that into a 1st down nonetheless. As now 2nd and 12. 2 plays later now for the Bears. Jasper looking around. He's going to go ahead and scramble, and is going to try to pick up some more yardage, but does not think about the ball security. So they fumble the ball there. They got to give it back to the Vikings, as this could end very badly for Louisiana Central. They need a huge stop here on defense, as it's fumbled. Wait a minute. LCU recovers. Is going to have an opportunity to pick up at least a tie. Or at least, actually, they can only tie the game, but they instead go 3 and out. They have to give it back to the Vikings. There's only 3 minutes left. Time is starting to become very essential right now, as there's another huge deep pass that was able to be completed. Now they're just running out the clock, going to Alston. He drops the football and gives it back to the Bears. So, minute and 43 left on the 40-yard line. Something could definitely happen here. They just gotta not fumble it. They fumble the ball, and that is gonna do it. Wentzville walks away from a near upset, beating the Louisiana Central Black Bears by a final score of 18-10 to begin this episode. So now we'll go ahead and shift things over to this interesting looking matchup. First time we saw either of these teams play on ACSA Live, as the University of Texas and Rio Grande Valley is looking for their first win of the season still. While at the same time, we're going to take a look at this Nazareth offense. They love playing with that air raid attack. So it should be an interesting game. See, it'll be a little bit more high scoring than the previous matchup that we enjoyed. as Rio Grande Valley will start with the football. They struggled in the first couple of weeks of this season, but they'll look to definitely get back on track though. Let's see if they do it. As Quinterly, he's gonna chuck this one downfield, and it's almost intercepted. Probably should have been picked off, but it was not the case. So instead, it's 2nd and 10. Quinterly gonna throw the ball down the field. He's got a man. Touchdown, Los Vermelhos, as Beaumont strikes first for Rio Grande Valley, taking the lead on the Nazareth Maccabees. As they'll get a first look of this offense out on the football field. A nice 9-yard catch for Sean Hill. As now they'll try to throw over the middle. It's incomplete. But wait a minute, there's a flag on the play, and it's pass interference. So it moves the ball 15 yards, and it's an automatic first down as well. The Nazareth drive will still continue, and it's starting to really find its rhythm. You got to get him off the field on 3rd down when, you get them to a 3rd down situation, really, and instead, it's a 5-yard gain. Their drive is still going, and, they still have a chance to tie this ball game up, and there's another pass, but they got lucky that time. That pass was dropped. That was going for big yards. So instead, it's 3rd and 5. Sean Dobbins going to throw over the middle, finds Reynolds, who picks up the first down and gets them into the red zone. Nazareth drawing closer to try to tie this ball game up. There's a fade towards the back of the end zone. There's Reynolds with the touchdown for the Maccabees, tying this game up at 7 apiece now as we get another look at the Nazareth offense. Rio Grande Valley this time around going 3 and out on their next possession, so ball's right back in the hands of Nazareth. They're going to go over the middle to find Hill. First down, Maccabees. Sean Hill killing the game right now with some great catches early on in this ball game, and he can add a touchdown too, and it's a touchdown for Nazareth. They get their first lead of this ball game. Now only at a 4-point lead though. Grand Valley certainly playing pretty tough. Los Vermelhos not going anywhere, as there's still only a couple minutes left here in this first half. Could go into the locker room still all knotted up. As now 1st and 10. Davis going to try to get to the outside as he stays on a defender. Is able to get back up. He's going to be rocking and rolling down the sideline. And I don't know how he did it, but he finds the end zone. Touchdown, Nazareth. I'm surprised the referees didn't mark him down there, but he somehow gets out of it. It's a touchdown for Nazareth. And now Los Vermelhos is down 21-0. And that QB sack right there is certainly not going to do them any favors. So now 2nd and long. Need a big play here. 2nd and 16 going to Beaumont. And it's another first down for these, Los Vermelhos. And that could be a touchdown right there. He only has one more man to beat, and he does sadly get beat. Hartsock nearly had a touchdown for himself, but instead, 1st and goal. Trying to make this a 1-score game again. Cornerly going to scramble. Going to try to dive. No, he does not dive. If I was going to see a dive for the end zone. But instead, it's 2nd and goal. Let's see what they do here. Another pass to the right. Touchdown, Dillard. Another score for Rio Grande Valley, and they also decide to go for 2. We'll see if this works out for them, as it's almost in, but the 2-point conversion is ultimately no good. So now they find themselves down by 5 after that unsuccessful 2-point conversion. They just now need to stop from their defense, if they can get it going here late in this 3rd quarter. Dom's going to go ahead and drop back the pass from one deep over the middle and finds Hill again. His 2nd score of the game, torching the Rio Grande Valley secondary as it extends it back to a 2-possession lead. And they could do it again. They have the ball. He's got some blockers too on top of it. He's going to slide down past the 40-yard line. First down for Nazareth. Now it's a 1st and 10. Going deep down the field. Finds the wrong jersey. intercepted and is returned back to nearly midfield. So an opportunity to be had to try to go ahead and make this a one-score game, get back into it potentially, as Cornery does scramble out of there and pick up the first down. Nazareth certainly, got the advantage for most of this game, but Rio Grande Valley's not going to give up yet. They're going to play through the whistle as there's another throw over the middle to Beaumont. A huge first down for Los Verreos. And now, 1st and 10. Quinnery gonna have to scramble. No, he's gonna throw it. He's got a man and finds Hartzog, who didn't have a score in the previous drive, but finds the end zone here. And they're gonna go for 2 once again. See if they can make this a 4-point game, and they do. The conversion is good. And Los Verreos only down by 4 points. And now after a recent field goal and subsequently able to get the ball back, they have an opportunity to take this victory from the jaws of defeat. Gotta execute here. Goes to Dokes, who gets flipped up in the air and still hangs on. First down though for Los Verreos. Still driving, 1 minute left. Quinnery looking around. He's got time in the pocket. Going to the left, he finds Beaumont. Can't get out of bounds though, and he also gets hurt on that play. So he'll be out for a few plays, and that's huge for Los Verreos. As now Quinnery go try to throw it over the middle, and it's intercepted. The Nazareth defense makes the biggest play of the ball game, and a nail biter ends with a Nazareth victory. A takeover on defense ends this game. Final score 31-27, our closest nail biter yet. So now for our final game of this triple header, we now have Indiana Thorntown going on the road to play against the Vermont Vipers. Vermont's surprisingly off to a pretty decent start. They're 1-1 on the season, but certainly have a huge test ahead of them as they go up and play against one of the better teams in the nation, in Indiana Thorntown, coming in at number 11 in the nation. And if you're gonna possibly get a huge upset at your home stadium, you got to start with this first drive, but that's not how you do it though. Throwing an interception to the other team and then giving them great field position on top of that. They almost returned that for a touchdown actually. So instead, you give the number 11 team in the nation some great field position, and they usually they're high ranking for a reason. They could very well execute very early and get this a 7-0 game early on, as there's a throw tight window, but finds Kodiash for a nice gain. 3rd and goal coming up though, struggling to get into the end zone a little bit. Hunter going to try to throw for it though, and he had his man, but it was offline, incomplete. But you're the number 11 team in the nation. You're going to go for it against a team from the Midwest. Going to try to run it in, and it's no good. Turnover on downs. So from now, the game still remains at 0 apiece. Still looking for the first points of this ball game. Both teams playing some tough defense for sure. So if you're a defensive fan, you're definitely a fan of this ball game, I would sure imagine. But except that coverage right there, man was butt naked, wide open, as Evan Brown makes a 35-yard catch. As now to try to go for the air again, that's incomplete. Had his man, but just a little offline. They're not used to passing the ball this much. They're more of a run-heavy kind of team. So definitely a little bit out of their comfort zone for sure. And you can see it early on in this game. Just having a hard time finding some sort of rhythm. But they do manage to get their first points of the game. It's now 3-0. As there's a head scratch or a throw. Surprised he didn't just go ahead and just scramble with it. Probably would have been a lot easier. But instead, it's 2nd and 10. They do find Moses, who parts the Red Sea from that defense and finds the open crease for the first down and gets them in front of Vermont territory. And speaking of Vermont territory, they dive deeper into the head of the Viper. Kodiash with an 18-yard catch, the tight end. As now 1st and 10, going over the middle to find Moses again. Pardon the Red Sea, but not for a first down. Instead, it's only for a gain of 8. And now it's back to the run game we go. 2nd and short. Why not? You got the better offensive line. Just, no reason to be too cute. as they continue to drive upfield. Can we finally see a touchdown, though? Surprised it's taken the Whitetails this long to get into the end zone, but that might change on this drive as Phillips got a lane and he gets halfway to the goal line. 2nd and goal coming up, though. Let's see if they can punch it in now. Hunter going to the left with Phillips. Phillips going in and he's got an open lane. Touchdown, Whitetails. And we finally see the first touchdown of this ball game. But despite all that, though, Vermont's only down 10-0 going into potentially going into halftime, but they can certainly try to make this a one-score game. Just gotta be smart with clock management, though. You're out of timeouts. Gotta be smart with it, as there's a helpful play. But look at this. The big play is negated thanks to a holding penalty, and then a couple plays later, you fumble the football and give it right back to the Whitetails. And thankfully, they don't do anything with it, but you should be very lucky if you're Vermont. They should have scored on that final drive, but did not get the job done. A boring 3-and-out. Decide to run out the clock, all that good stuff. As now, here we are in this second half. Phillips going to go ahead and pick up the first down once again, as they do have a multi-possession lead now. So just got to go ahead and lean on that running game a little bit more, just to take the willpower out of these guys for right now, and then throw in the occasional pass play as well, just to keep them a little bit off balance, just to keep them honest, that's for sure. As now they're in Vermont territory again, but that usually doesn't yield positive results. Let's see if something could happen here as Harris gets down the sideline for a huge first down. 20-yard gain on that one. As now they're in the red zone off of 1st and 5 after an offside penalty by Vermont, as Kodiosh makes a diving play into the end zone. Touchdown, Whitetails. Now this game is certainly starting to open up. Now with a 17-0 lead, the defense is playing fantastic. The offense is starting to find its rhythm too. Let's get into the closing stages of the third quarter. Going to Miller on the outside. He picks up another first down. Stays in bounds to just keep that clock ticking. As now 2nd and 7. Going with Hunter on the outside. And nearly picks up the first down himself. Just starting to gash the Vermont defense. Just has not looked pretty, as all they have to do is just hold on to the football and just take care of business from that standpoint, as it's another first down. You know, he hasn't certainly found the running room most of the time, but when they do, you know, that usually brings really good results to this football team. As this is starting to get ugly. Hunter going to scramble upfield, another first down. The clock gets ticking, and they still don't have an answer for his rushing game, as they go to Phillips again, but this time they don't have to do anything. He fumbles the ball. Vermont recovers. And hang on just a second. They might just have a glimmer of hope here. They can at least pick up this first down here. You can't go 3-and-out when you have an opportunity like this, but look what they do. They don't listen to my advice. They go 3-and-out. But they do end up getting the ball back regardless with 5.5 minutes. Just got to make something happen there, and he tries to scramble. Got to throw that ball away, so not only you lose yards, but the clock's continuing to run. The clock is not certainly on your side right now, as that should have been backed off, but somehow got through. This is a first down for the Vipers as they continue to drive. 1st and 10. Bland going to look over the right-hand side. He's got Stewart. He's got a man and gets out of bounds on top of that, temporarily stopping the clock. But it could stall here, though. 2 plays later, it's a 3rd and long. They send pressure from the edge. Quarterback doesn't see it. And for some reason, they're going to try this super long field goal. I don't know if he's got the leg for it, but, you know, we'll find out what he's got. And no surprises there. Did not have what it takes to get on the board. And that's how this game ends. Indiana Thorntown didn't look great on offense, but does what it needs to do to win. Winning by a final score of 17-0. So now that we're back in the studio following that game between the Indiana Thornton Whitetails and the Vermont Vipers, let's go ahead and check out some other scores to start off the third week of this inaugural ACSA season. First and foremost, we have Bluffton Tech going on the road to play against UW Kennesaw. Although they didn't look as impressive in the first couple of weeks, they did take care of business, ultimately defeating the Comets by a final score of 39-12. Texas Catholic also went on the road to play against the Nashville Generals, who were still looking for their first win of the season, and they'll have to keep looking, losing 36-3 to the Gladiators. Meanwhile, the Huafa Chiefs came into today's game ranked number 20 in the country, and they should continue to stay in that top 25 poll, defeating Episcopal of New England 33-3, as this is a team still looking for its first win of the season, surprisingly. Meanwhile, the Iroquois Eagles beat the San Jose Dolphins like a drum, beating them 45-3 and are undefeated, one of the better looking teams in the Big North Conference. Speaking of the Big North Conference, we also have Eastern Pennsylvania going on the road to play against the Eastern Wisconsin at Port Washington Hunters, EWPW for short, and they take care of business, winning 45-12. On the other hand, Morehead State gets to experience an absolute blowout, destroying the South Idaho State Ranchers 60-3. The Madison Lakers also recover nicely after a tough loss to Central Tech in the previous week. They defeat the Brooklyn Wolves 36-3 in a nice, recovery win. Keeping the Big North theme going, the Detroit State Pit Bulls destroyed Dakota A&M 36-3. And then to kind of wrap things up, we have the Hayes Indians, who entered the top 25 for the very first time, coming in at number 25 in the country, taking on the Savannah Bison and taking care of business easily, winning 45-3. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next 4 games that are going to be shown dropping on Wednesday. We have DeKalb A&M coming in at number 7 in the country, going on the road to play against the Rochester Enigmas. Their first, both of these teams making their debut on ACSA television, that is the John Jay Gaming channel. That's going to be the first game to start Wednesday's episode. After that, we'll have a battle between 0-2 squads, as Anchorage Tech will go on the road to play against the Colorado Tech Rattlesnakes, both desperately trying to get into the win column for the very first time this season. After that, we'll travel to North Carolina, where the Clinton, Oklahoma Indians will play against the Raleigh Red Rams, who are sitting at 0-2. They're going to look to try to get their first win this season, while Clinton looks to make a statement to try to jump to the top 25 should they win this game. Finally, for the final game of Wednesday's episode, we'll have South Carolina Tech going on the road to play against Alfred the Great Saxons. Both teams also making their ACSA debuts on the channel. We'll see how it turns out, as South Carolina Tech will be representing the Atlantic Shore Conference, whereas Alfred the Great will be repping the National Conference. We'll see how it turns out for both squads. But with all that being said, that is going to wrap up today's ACSA episode. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash that like button, as well as hit subscribe if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J. Gaming on the mic signing off for today, but I'm also hoping that you guys are having a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.